have to be aware. And again, you have to go to chapter 7 to even read more about it. So now I want to spend the next 10 minutes, and we will be done, of why patients have muscle pain. And in a way applies to the concept of arthralgia here, right? Because we didn't associate this. We said it's pain that is modified by function and parafunction. We never involved the structural changes that we will be talking next class. So through the years, and this is 1942, people have tried to explain why individuals may have muscle pain. And one of the first models that tried to explain the mechanism was this vicious cycle theory. And I have the actually original paper in my other screen, but I cannot show it to you. But here is a screenshot of the title. And at that time, Travell suggested that there was a cycle in which muscle spasm will cause pain, and at the same time, the pain will reinforce the muscle spasm. And for many years, that was the model used to explain what was happening. Then later on in 1991, the year I arrived to Buffalo, Dr. Lund came with a new model, the pain adaptation model, saying that, that cycle, that vicious cycle didn't make much sense, that really what was happening is that the muscle adapt, the individual adapt, and avoided muscular activity in order to avoid the pain and try to go through an adaptive process and a healing process of the muscle. And obviously that theory, even though it stayed there for a long time, was not completely accepted. Other people came with other models, and Peck in 2007 said, it's beyond that. It's kind of an integration of the biology happening in the muscle and the biopsychosocial characteristics and domain of the patients. And then the last one is really published in 2011, and is motor adaptation to pain model by Hutch and Tucker in 2011, in which it says really the muscle is going to be affected by the presence of pain, but it's not only the psychosocial, it's really the biology of that muscle changes in terms of recruitment of how many neurons are going to be active, and all the neurosensory input that the patient may need. So here I have a nice little table in which Dr. Crow, Dr. Kayawa, myself summarize for you all this theory in one of the chapters that we have published in textbooks. And, and really this motor adaptation and integration are not inconsistent. They are consistent with what we today talk about as the central sensitization process. And I introduced this to you in your first class, which is probably the best explanation we have now to explain why individuals have pain, muscle pain, and more so from more recent presentations of people in the field, we know that this central sensitization was seen before as the result of something that will start peripheral from nociception to the brain. And now we know that really is bidirectional. You could have changes happen centrally that will actually have consequences in the periphery, or you can have phenomena going in the periphery that will have consequences centrally. And we use the hyperalgesia and allodynia concept that has been introduced to you in pharmacology, in your pharmacology class, as the markers or surrogate markers to measure that central and peripheral sensitization. In several years ago, when we did the validation study, that was, I believe, from 2003 to 2008 and so on, we didn't do it in Buffalo, but one of the centers did biopsies of the masseter muscle looking for inflammatory markers, and at that time, no markers were found. today with microdialysis. There is a lot of studies going on, and maybe, 2 years from now, we will be presenting a complete different model of explanatory model. But now they are doing a lot of microdialysis, identifying, interleukin 6, 7, 10, 13, serotonin receptors, and so on. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, why me? Why do I have this pain? The better model that we have is that it's an integration of not only the physical, meaning the muscle and the biological, but how that is integrated at the central nervous system, both causing either peripheral and or central sensitization, and that more studies are going on in order to see the role of inflammatory markers that even in very low levels that can be detected with macrodialysis may explain why individuals may develop this muscle pain. In addition to that, there is a big initiative too as well to identify what happened in a specific areas of the band of the muscle, and doing that with modeling systems and other imaging systems as well. So it's very possible that next year or 2 years from now, we will be presenting definitely new advances and new ideas in terms of models of explanation. And I would like to finish with this cartoon, the grandpa grinding the teeth during the sleep. And for your attention, thank you very much. And here ending with this beautiful picture taken here in Buffalo during my favorite season, which is the fall. Any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. There was one question. How was the